Greetings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Happy Wednesday. Happy the beginning of Mercury Retrograde. This is the first day of Mercury Retrograde. We have spent 3 weeks in a Mercury Retrograde shadow, readying ourselves for this experience, and we are here. Okay, so I wanted to come in today and talk about like what's going on cosmically and how that could be impacting your how it is impacting your experience and how to move yourself forward. So Mercury starts retrograde today and the sun moves into Virgo today. So we're having the beginning of Mercury retrograde, which rules Virgo, in Virgo, and the sun moved into Virgo today. This is like so incredibly juicy. And opposing Virgo is Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So Pisces is the subconscious, it's the heavenly realms, it's the feet, it's where everything sort of comes from. And Virgo is the earth realm. So Pisces is the internal and Virgo is the external. Pisces is feminine energy. It's the fish in the water, and Virgo is the goddess. Virgo is the virgin, right? Jesus Christ, the Christ was born through a virgin. That is Virgo. This is this Virgo energy, you guys. And so the astrology that I do is not about, it's one thing to be the sign of something. Yes, like I am a Virgo. But we all have Virgo in us. We're all these 12 aspects. These are 12 aspects of ourselves. And one of those aspects, where the sun is now, is Virgo. So when in the Bible it says, my Father has prepared many mansions. My Father has many mansions, and I shall go and prepare one for you. That is the voice. That is the consciousness of the sun speaking, saying, my Father, the creator of all that is, has prepared many mansions. One of them is Virgo and Leo, and I'm going to go prepare it for you. I'm going to go bring the light for you so that you can enhance these aspects of yourself. So the cosmos is now giving us the energy we need to really be true to ourselves. There is nothing more going on in humanity at this moment than our call to be true to ourselves, to be who you are meant to be, who no one else can be. And I have been doing this work in the last, all my life. I've been like, I have Uranus at the 29th degree of Virgo. What does that mean? Uranus is this rebel. It's the rebel. It's the individual. It's the innovation. And so I cannot follow rules. Like rules just are something that I just can't do it. It doesn't occur to me. I can't force myself because I have Uranus at the top of Libra, basically. And Libra is the earth realm. Libra is where we come to do this earth thing. And so when I have Uranus in the top of Libra, I just can't fit in. I cannot fit in. I cannot make myself fit in. I have tried to fit in. I want to fit in, but it doesn't work. Whenever I try to do what everybody else is doing, it doesn't work for me, right? So the work right now on the planet, Uranus rules Aquarius, and we are moving into the age of Aquarius. So what does that mean? It means stop trying to fit in. Stop. The only way to fit in is to fit in with yourself, to fit in with who you are, to accept who you are, to love who you are, to choose yourself, to honor yourself, because that is what is necessary for everyone else. We all have unique medicine. We all have unique gifts. We all have unique purposes and ways of being. And some of them may look like, it might look close to someone else's gift, but it's not, because it's you and it's your gift. But you have to have the courage to be loyal to yourself enough that you are no longer attempting to fit in, even in your mind, even in your brain, that you're no longer aligning yourself, configuring yourself to make others feel comfortable or happy or any of that. That is over with, you all. And this Mercury retrograde, of course it won't. This Mercury retrograde is here because the South Node is moving through Libra. Relationships are coming undone. If you are in a relationship that survived the South Node through Scorpio, that's really dope. That's amazing. That's wow, okay. That's some real, you guys really have something going on. But if your relationship is very challenging right now, it's because it's important for you to be true to yourself. And those interesting, subtle ways that we give over our deepest desires because of someone else. It's really simple stuff. I can't do this because this, we do it for our children. We do it for partners. We as women especially, I don't know about men as much. Men probably do it also. But as women, we do it with our girlfriends. Will my friend like this? And what are they going to think about me if I do this? And I remember when I first started being a part of open relating community and feeling really afraid of how were my friends going to receive me, since I was now in an open relationship, since I was in a relationship with a man who had a wife, right? That's just a mind fuck in most people's realities. And so I made a decision, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna act like this isn't what works for me, and I'm gonna be true to myself. And in doing that, everyone else gets to go how will I meet that? Or what does that mean to me? Or what is she doing? People get to really be with their own systems and their own choices and ways of being when they encounter someone who is actually living in truth with themselves. It's because most people are living lock, stock, and barrel with the collective. And so the opportunity is for you to really get true to yourself. So you get to ask yourself during this Mercury retrograde, and I invite you guys to come do Mercury retrograde readings with me. During this Mercury retrograde, because Mercury rules Virgo, and Virgo is really Virgo is like a separator. It says this stays and this goes. This is valuable. This is not. This doesn't serve any longer. I know we loved it, but it just doesn't, other than the fact that you have memory of it, it just doesn't work any longer. And what I'm watching in my life, I am watching myself, inside of myself, I am deconstructing the way I relate to the 3D reality. So the way I think about money, we all have, we're sensory beings, right? So what we all have is this, I know for me, if a certain amount of money comes in, I have a feeling about it, or, this makes me feel this way. This amount makes me feel this way. This means this means that. What I've been seeing is that I put too much value on money. I had aligned myself with the idea that I need money in order to be who I'm meant to be, or be what I want to be. And that is not true. It's the other day I was walking down I was in a car and I saw this woman who had on a hat made of fresh flowers. Fresh flowers. Fresh flowers. And I was so in awe of that. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And first of all, the courage, the inventiveness, a whole hat. It was a whole hat filled with fresh flowers. And her, and it's just like she could have just picked those flowers going down the street and put them together herself, and she made herself into who she wanted to be because it came from inside of her. It wasn't about the money. Like it's like I realized that I've been forming myself based upon if I had money or not. I was deciding if something was luxurious or not based upon how much it costs, rather than based upon the value it has for me. It was really interesting. I was friends with someone. I had a friendship for a really, really long time. We grew up together, and I never had as much money as they did, but neither of us was really materialistic. And as we got older, they got married and they got a partner who had a lot of resources, a lot of money. And we all benefited from that. We all did. Because we had grown up together. So it was all like, oh, we're going to do this and come with us. And it was really interesting. One day I hadn't seen her in a while, and I saw her, and she had a Louis Vuitton bag. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting. Because she had never cared about that kind of stuff. She had never, that was like in all of our years, that was materialism and it was nothing that she ever cared about. But her partner started getting a lot of money, so now she had access to those things, and that's where she was casting her value. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And that was it. But my point being is that we get to assign value and meaning. We do it ourselves. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I realized that I had given the world the permission to assign value for myself. And that has taken me off of my true expression. It has taken me out of the depths of my creative power, because I had given a worldly perception of a thing, the power to assign value for me in my life. And many of us do it. If you think about it, do you know what I'm talking about? Does this make sense? Right? And so the question becomes, as Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, and Saturn is in Pisces, and the Sun is in Virgo, and Pisces is the heavenly realms, is the subconscious, is our creative power, is what we're bringing, is the as above. Virgo is the so below. They're both feminine energies, meaning they are internal. They are internal. So whatever you have going on inside of you, in your subconscious, your imagination, your dream states, my thing is, it's very important for us to be able to dream without a price tag, without a physical sort of idea of, you don't want anything to block your dreams. You want to be able to imagine with the full spectrum of possibilities, and you don't want to cut yourself off in your dream state, in your imagination, in your ideas of what you're capable of, in your ideas of what is possible. Because the age of Aquarius says you have got to become loyal to yourself. So if you are so hell-bent on doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to suffer. You are going to suffer. If you are hell-bent on being like everyone else, you are going to suffer. And the work right now is to get true to yourself, because that is what the codes, the astrology, is what the universe is calling through us right now, to be true to ourselves. like the woman walking down the street with a hat made of fresh flowers. There was something about it that was slightly ridiculous. I was like, huh. But then it tickled me so because I could feel her passion. And she was a sister, right? That's another thing. She was a black woman. She had on like a 1940s suit. You know, like those really, she had on like a jacket that came to the waist, that had sleeves, you know, that buttoned up. And she had on a skirt that was a pencil skirt and a hat made of full flowers. Not just a flower on the hat a full hat of fresh flowers. Okay? A full hat of fresh flowers. She was doing her thing. So this is what we're up to. And in order to access that level of truth to yourself, you have to be listening. You got to sit down. You can't be worried about what somebody else is fucking doing or what somebody's thinking or what they said over there and he did this at work and then that is going to burn your energy. You have a limited amount of energy, you guys, and you have to use your energy for what is trying to come through you. And if you are using it for that, the universe is going to multiply it. If you are using your energy intentionally to be yourself, all you have to do is have the desire to really be yourself, to really be true to yourself. And you could be really far away. You in your mind, you could think, I'm fucked. It's not, I can't do it. It's not. But if you just sit down and go, I am willing to learn. I am willing to see. I'm willing to understand. I'm willing. It will shift. But you have to be sincere. Nobody else can do it but you. That's the thing about this. Nobody knows who you are capable of being but you and the creator in you. So nobody knows if you're cheating or not. Nobody knows if you're lying or not. Nobody knows. Like some people are really intuitive. Like you might come across somebody like myself who will be like, oh yeah, I can see what they're doing. Okay. Like I have this thing recently. I was talking to somebody that I was in a relationship with for many years. You know, a relationship that was defined by us. And we were on the phone and it was like I could smell. We were on the phone, y'all. But I could smell his rotted energy. I could smell it. And I could hear, like his voice sounded like clashes of glass. It was the weirdest thing. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like it was, and I wanted to talk to them about it. I wanted to be like, can we talk about this? But they were like, they don't want to have conversations about healing. And so I was like, okay, cool. That was it. But I could, my intuition and my gifts are getting so strong as I become loyal to myself. As I become loyal to myself and as I cut away the things that were taking me away from myself, my gifts are getting so strong that I could smell this person's rotted energy. Cosmic blessing. Hi, Cosmic Cousins. Thank you. Yes, it's Virgo season, right? I could smell their rotting energy. And it was, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So it's, all I'm saying is this is the value of us becoming loyal to ourselves. Becoming in alignment with how we're meant to function. And all you need to do is be willing. All you need to do is want it. All you need to do is decide that all the other stuff that you're doing that's not really paying off, it's not really paying off. It's not really paying off. It's not paying off. It's not really, you're not getting what you want anyway. You've been trying, it's not, then become loyal to yourself. then the work of becoming loyal to yourself will begin to lead you there. Because, and here's the thing, many of us, we don't even know what it means to be loyal to ourselves because we've been in the age of Pisces for so long. And the age of Pisces is about the collective stuff. It's about religions and all that sort of stuff. So what would it mean for you to stop believing that you need a savior? What would it mean for you to realize that there is no savior coming? That the story that they told you about that Jesus Christ was like the same one as Santa Claus. They are just stories, and that you are it. What would it take for you to do that? What would it take for you to stop believing that you need a partner to be happy? What would it take for you to stop thinking that money is going to be the thing that frees you? Or you know what I mean? What would it take for you to stop believing that there's anything external that is going to set you free, but that you yourself are willing to at least die trying to be for yourself what you would expect somebody else to be? At least just die trying doing it. You can just say, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to die trying. Or I'm going to live falling on my face, figuring it out. Because you have more power there, falling on your face, figuring out who you are and being devoted to yourself and learning. You have more power there than you do at this time, at this cosmological time on the planet, than your connections to others. Because the North Node is in Aries, which is about the self, and the age of Aquarius, which is about your unique individual self, your God self. So you're going to have a greater opportunity to succeed at anything when it's about you and being loyal to yourself than you will forcing an old construct that has the idea of something external being the thing that you need. That is just the truth of it. So get busy. Get busy. Healing your internal gives you your voice. Absolutely. And it is a remarkable journey, you all. It is a remarkable experience. You guys have been with me. Many of you guys have known me for years. I saw Satori on here. Satori is an incredible masseuse. Like, he's not a masseuse. That's not the right thing to call him. But he's a healer. And I've known him for years, right? And what I know as I reorient the parts of myself that really cared about what other people thought, that felt like I needed this to be happy, or, that was linking my power and energies up with people who weren't in alignment with me and didn't really believe what I believed. And when I finally started to say, here's what I believe and here's what I know to myself, not to anyone else, to myself, everything is starting to configure. And let me tell you, this work is hard. There are times where I just am, flailing about in like Leo season was hellacious for me. I mean, it was hellacious. It really was. And I'm willing to do it because I got to show up for myself. I have to show up for myself. And I understand how the universe works to a degree. So I do know that if I can just love myself through whatever I'm going through, if I can just don't quit on myself with whatever I'm going through, the universe is going to give me the space for what I need to do next, right? So, and what's happening is my intuitive gifts are getting so strong. Spirit the other day showed me like somebody in my family has a health challenge going on. Spirit said, wait, you'll see. I get the phone call. This person is going through this health thing. Okay, here's what to do. Right? So I couldn't do that before. There was too much confusion in my mind. I would hear stuff and not trust it and not believe it, right? So now Spirit is showing me, here's the medicine for this and here's what you do for this, because I'm no longer in my head with other people's stuff. I'm no longer in my head with government and who I'm gonna vote for and what this system is doing. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I could care less about Joe Biden, his mama, his wife. I don't care about the races. I don't care. What I do care about is how to transmute the energy into power. How do we take these old narratives? Because the thing is, in this reality, nothing ends. You have to transmute it, right? So things do end, but they end through transmutation. You have to shift the energy. So all that energy that I used to use for voting and, like caring about, I cared about the election and all that energy that I was using for trying to, how am I going to be successful in this world, and all that energy I was using for that, I've cut ties with all that shit. None of it has none. What am I focused on? Teaching my son to use his power. Teaching myself to be centered and in my present moment and in my body so that I can hear the voice of my God inside of me and know what choices to make in a split second. Learning to know that I am one, that the laws of oneness prevail over all things, but I have to be in consciousness to do this stuff. I have to practice, I have to meditate, I have to pray, I have to really be present and this. It's hard. So I have to have people around me who actually are in this work with me, where we're all in it together. The last couple of days I've been really working with being in alternate dimensions and learning how to choose the dimension that I desire to be in. Like I envision myself at the library, picking, like the way I would choose a library book off the shelf is the way I can tap into a dimension in my consciousness and choose that dimension by anchoring into it. And my whole life is chaotic right now, and I'm very aware of how challenging it is. I woke up the other morning, you guys, and to go feed my cats, and came back to go get in the bed just to do my meditation, and saw something on my bed crawling with a tail, and turned on the light, and there was a possum in my bed. We had a tornado here in LA, so the possum found its way into a little one. And so it's like, what does that mean? What is the meaning of that? Because that is the universe sending me a signal that there's a message here. And I go check it out, and the message is, do not play dead now. Like, there's a lot happening, and don't freeze up. Stay moving. Move slow, move strategically, but do not fall over like the possum and just go out because all this stuff is happening. Stay in your power. And that's what I did. So I was, oh my God, but like, let me do my thing. Let me do what I need to do, right? Because we have to be loyal to our call, and the reality will test you, meaning, to help you get strong. The testing is to build your strength. The testing is to build your constitution, your connection to spirit and source through you. And so, yes, so we set up a cage, and the possum. So of course I called people, and one of my girlfriends was like, "Oh, what an incredible!" She's like, "What an incredible blessing! Like, to have a possum, that's abundance, and this and this and that." I was like, "Okay, thank you, I appreciate that." And what to do to get it out? And then I called another friend of mine, James, and James came over and tore my whole apartment up, and we did not find the possum. The very next morning, I heard somebody eating. I have cats, right? So I heard the cats. There's one cat up there. I heard something eating, and it was really loud. I heard eating and drinking water, and then I looked up over the sofa and saw that the possum was eating the cat food and drinking the cat water. I was like, Lord. And in a split second, I got up. I turned around in a split second, and the possum was vanished. Literally gone. Like, literally. So then I called the animal services because what am I going to call the animal? So I called the animal service. The animal service guy came over. His name was McCarthy, and he was, they have uniforms like police officers, right? So he comes. This man is dressed like a police officer, going through my drawers, and he's a white man, and he's like, you just gotta know that possum ain't no more afraid of you. That possum is as sweet as can be. That possum ain't gonna do nothing to you. And here's what you do, because he couldn't find it. So he's like, maybe he's hidden. So he says, so you get your food so he tells me how to trap the thing. But basically, he convinced me that the possum had no desire to hurt me. And that was the thing I needed to learn. I was like, oh, like nothing is coming to harm me. Nothing is coming to harm me. Really? Like, okay. So I can really be myself. But the beautiful thing that came out of it was that I called and asked for help, y'all, because I'm a Virgo, and I do not call people and ask for help. I do not. It is not. It's the Virgo way, and I'm Generation X, so I can figure shit out. And it might be MacGyvered, and I don't know, but I can get it done, right? So. But I called people and asked for help, and everybody came to help, and everybody showed up for me. And I'm so grateful that I had the courage to ask for help and to show up for myself. So the possum, we set up a trap last night. I put the cats in the bathroom all night long so that they wouldn't get in the trap, and woke up this morning, no possum, food. It didn't touch anything. So, hi, Alika. And so the possum, I don't know. I really feel like the possum just came to help me really tap into my magic, because like I said, I'm focusing on being able to move through dimensions, through my own imagination, through my own consciousness. And sometimes that feels like a conversation that will go, am I crazy? Did I hear that? Is that right? Is that real? Is that right? And what I have to remind myself is that this reality is malleable. This reality is not fixed. We've been taught to believe that it's fixed, but there are many dimensions right here, right now. You just can't perceive it with your eyes. So, so I'm having to really be present with that, because here's the thing with Saturn and Pisces is going to anchor, because Saturn is the Lord of this 3D reality, cause and effect. So Saturn is going to anchor what is in our subconscious into the 3D reality. And that's what's important about this Mercury retrograde. That because Saturn is opposing Virgo. Mercury is exalted in Virgo, meaning it has more power. And what is Mercury? Our mind, how we think. What is this reality made of? Thought. Everything here is thought. And where does it come out of? The subconscious, right? So we're really in a little bit of a creative machine right now, where the things that we're putting our thoughts on and the things that we're focusing on are going to come into existence as the sun moves through Virgo. Oh my God. She fell off the bed. She was falling off. That's hilarious. As the sun moves through Virgo, and Virgo is harvest season, y'all. So harvest season is here. He said, I had a dream that the sky was a mirror and the emojis began to fall away from the sky. It's all about what you choose. That's absolutely right. So this Mercury retrograde is good, y'all. We about to have a good... That was really hilarious. I love her, y'all. That's all set. She is the sweetest baby. Both of my cats are just pure sweetness. So anyway, do your work this year. Do your work this month. Come book your Mercury retrograde readings and look at what's really going on in your life right now. What needs to go? Just start saying no. If you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out. Just say, I ain't doing that no more. That's it. Just be like, I ain't doing that no more. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So for me, I am declaring right now that I am done. This is what I'm done with. I am done with determining how to be, how to feel based upon an external experience. I am no longer going to let something external decide how I think and feel about myself, or how I even think and feel about the external thing. Because we create the meaning. And we are meaning-making machines. So that is my gift to myself. To free myself from this way of allowing the external reality to determine what's true for me. I am not subject to that. I'm not subject to the stuff that and so why would I align myself to it? So get clear about what you need to let go of. You guys can go on my link tree and book your Mercury retrograde readings. Mercury is going to be retrograde for 3 weeks in Virgo. Be so busy choosing what you want and focusing on that. That's absolutely right. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. She was sleeping peaceful. that was really funny. That was, yeah, if y'all didn't hear, she almost fell out. She just rolled off. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. We have a lot coming for Follow the Sun. Friday, Adina and I will be doing our Liberated Pussy, Freedom Ain't Free podcast. Our intention is to create an environment where women can come together to do the work of healing their wombs, healing the unresolved things that we're holding on to, because the womb is a portal. It's where stuff goes to grow, and it's also sometimes where stuff goes to die. So many women have fibroids and all these things going on in their creative portals because they have been trying to please other people and doing what everybody else wants them to do and not putting themselves first. So we're going to be having our podcast on Friday. I'll put the information up for that. And I look forward to seeing those of you who want to book readings today. Peace and blessings, y'all. Have a really beautiful Mercury retrograde. Lots of love. Bye-bye.